Good afternoon. So good to see you all. It's great to see so many familiar faces and so many new faces here today. To those of you who have been walking this journey with Treehouse for decades, and for those of you joining us for the first time, thank you so much for being here. Before I go on, I have to do a couple of special shout outs though. First of all, my mom is celebrating her 80th birthday. She and my brother live in Madison, Wisconsin, so this is the first time they've ever been able to attend a Champions lunch in person. And so I'm so happy to have them here. Happy 80th, Mom. And second, I want to welcome and congratulate our new Secretary of the Washington State Department for Children, Youth, and Families, Tana Sen. If you were here last year, you know we celebrated her as our Legislator of the Year in 2024. And Tana is a true champion for our young people in foster care. Welcome and congrats, Madam Secretary. This month, I'm proud to celebrate 16 years at Treehouse. 16 years built on passion originally ignited from my experience as a foster parent nearly 2 decades ago. During that time, I was profoundly struck by a foster care system that doesn't really work for anyone. Not the children and youth it's meant to protect, not the parents struggling to do better, not the parents or relative caregivers trying to provide stability, not the caseworkers stretched to their limits. That experience made me realize that this was the work that my heart wanted to do. Right now, there is a 14-year-old in our state who has been removed from their home for their own safety, carrying everything they own in a single garbage bag. By the time they arrive at their 4th foster care placement, they've already changed schools 3 times, lost 4 teachers who believed in them, and every friend who truly knew their story. Over the course of this year, nearly 9,000 children and youth in our state will wake up in foster care, just like that 14-year-old. They are worrying about what's going to happen to them, whether they're going to see their mom or their siblings this week. They will head to school carrying burdens that no kid should ever have to experience. They're the new kid again. It takes time to get their school records. They may go weeks without needed special education support. They miss class for court dates and therapy sessions, and many won't have access to those extracurricular activities, the sports, music, clubs, and events that bring joy and can shape their lives because they can't afford them. And when their trauma and loss bubbles over into challenging behavior in the classroom and the school fails to recognize why, they get suspended or expelled, as you've heard. All of this sends the message to our young people that school, a place that should be safe and certain, is not a place for them. But their stories don't end there. We know our young people are much more than the challenges they must overcome. Our Treehouse staff, like Jesse, Anna, Jonathan, and Sarah, know that every young person we serve is still writing their story. We are living in a time of so much economic, political, and social upheaval. It's a time when many of us feel the ground beneath us shifting. I know I've been asking myself, what is our mandate in this moment? The answer isn't something we wait for, it's something that we must create. Despite shifting ground at the federal level and a serious budget crisis in our state, we have been entrusted with creating opportunities for our young people in foster care to succeed in a world where the cards are often stacked against them. These are the young people for whom the state has stepped in as legal guardian. State does not make a great parent, by the way. We believe that we have a special responsibility, a moral imperative to ensure that they have every opportunity to thrive. And at Treehouse, we believe that the key is education. We know that when students in foster care graduate from high school, their chances of long-term success skyrocket. And research shows us when they don't finish high school, their chances of experiencing unemployment, poverty, homelessness, and incarceration also increase dramatically. The reality is that the foster care and the education systems often fall short and struggle to work together effectively, failing to provide the stability, continuity, and extra support that young people need to stay the course. Treehouse exists to change all of that. At Treehouse, our goal is that youth in foster care will complete high school at the same rate as their peers, prepared to implement their post-high school plan. Our integrated, holistic approach, anchored by human connection, is key to changing their educational outcomes so that they can shape and build their own lives. As you've heard, Treehouse provides access to the essentials, that high-quality clothing, shoes, school supplies, and more, so they can show up to school with confidence, prepared to engage in their education. We reduce the financial barriers that make everyday life harder for our students. Without the right support, our students miss out on experiences that help them connect, learn, and grow. A missed field trip, a sports team they can't afford to join, a college dream put on hold because application fees are just too high. And these are not just line items, they are make or break moments in our kids' lives, and they add up. Each missed opportunity makes it even more challenging for them to keep up with peers and envision a future that is beyond their current reality. We step up so they don't have to opt out. The education system is not built with foster care in mind, but Treehouse is. First, we work with all of the grown-ups. Our advocates work in child welfare offices, partnering directly with caseworkers, parents, caregivers, and schools to ensure that youth get the education that they're entitled to. We advocate to maintain school stability so our students don't have to start over every time they change placements, and advocate for and intervene when suspensions or expulsions threaten to derail their progress. And second, we work directly with the students themselves. From 8th through 12th grade, students meet with their education specialists every week, like Jonathan. Together, they monitor their attendance, behavior, and grades. Together, they set goals, create plans, build their self-advocacy skills, and most importantly, their hope, so that each young person can take charge of their education and their future. And when they graduate, we don't disappear. We continue providing guidance, financial assistance, and essential resources so young adults can navigate their post-high school plans with the support, security, and sounding board that every young adult needs as they navigate the path to young adulthood. Today, we are extremely proud that all of our programs are available in every corner of our state. This is a dream that was more than a decade in the making, and we are proud at this moment to be serving 2/3 of all school-age young people in foster care statewide. And most importantly, as Sharmi shared earlier, what we do works. Over the past decade, nearly 1,300 Treehouse students have graduated from high school. And those young people that we serve for 2 years or more are graduating at a rate of nearly 70%. And that is not all. We know that real change only happens when we take on the policies and systems that create the barriers that limit their lives. We work at the highest levels, partnering with legislators, state agencies, and educators to make lasting changes that expand opportunity and access. Because of our leadership, Washington State has some of the strongest laws in the country addressing the educational needs of our students in foster care. And for the past 2 years, Treehouse has had the opportunity to serve the U.S. Department of Education full-time as experts on students in foster care. We've convened and trained education and child welfare leaders from all 50 states and issued new federal guidance on best practices in education for students in foster care. We are impacting kids across this country. Time and again, colleagues in other states say to me, I wish we had a Treehouse. Then the truth is there is nothing else like us in the country. Treehouse is the only organization in the nation delivering this breadth of educational services and other essential supports at this level of effectiveness, at this scale. And none of this, I am not overstating, would be possible without the support of everyone in this room. We have made incredible progress, and we still have a long way to go. Our students continue to experience chronic absenteeism and exclusionary discipline at egregiously disproportionate rates. They continue to viscerally experience the lingering impacts of the learning loss and social emotional distress of COVID. And since we announced our statewide expansion in 2023, demand for our services has skyrocketed. We are stretching to keep up and experiencing wait lists in both of our education programs. Our students need us more than ever before. And right now, Treehouse is facing external headwinds that are unprecedented in recent memory. The very identities, personal safety, and educational trajectories of our young people are under attack from the highest levels of our government. Federal funding streams that support critical student needs are in question. And if you've been following the news, you know that our state is facing its most significant budget crisis since the recession of 2008. Last week, Treehouse learned that $7.4 million in state funding for our education programs is at serious risk. Our funding for next year was maintained in the Senate budget, but was entirely cut in the House budget. Over the past decade, the state legislature and Treehouse have partnered to build statewide access to these essential supports. The state puts up that $7.4 million, and Treehouse matches it with more than double that amount in individual donations, foundation grants, and corporate contributions because of all of you in this room. However, if we lose this state funding, we are at significant risk of undoing all of the progress we have made over this last decade. This is where we need you. We are at another turning point in Treehouse's history, a time to step up, to advocate boldly, to ask our legislators to make greater investments, and we are calling on you to take the next step with us. Even more than a decade after setting our sights on improving the foster care graduation rate, no one has ever done what we are attempting to do anywhere in our country. And we can do it. We are doing it. What makes Treehouse exceptional is you. 60% of our budget comes from people just like you. Today, we ask you to give generously. We are so grateful for your partnership and vote of confidence in our work. And immediately following today's luncheon, you're going to get an email from me asking you to take one more critical step. Our legislators need to hear from every one of us that we cannot and we will not balance our state budget on the backs of our most vulnerable and marginalized young people. These are the young people for whom the state is legally responsible, and the legislature has a special responsibility to them. And investing in our students in foster care is not only the right thing to do. Those 1,300 Treehouse graduates over the past decade represent over $500 million in benefit to our society, including taxpayer savings and higher lifetime earnings for the graduates themselves. It is a smart investment in their futures and in ours. So, show of hands. How many people in this room have ever contacted one of their state legislators? Oh, I am impressed. All right, so this is going to be an easy ask for you, right? We need you to show up and help us make a ruckus on behalf of our youth in foster care. You're going to get that email. We have a simple online tool. The message is drafted for you. It will go automatically to your 3 legislators, and it takes less than 2 minutes. 2 minutes of your time. We need you now. Our young people need you now. It's hard to dream when getting through the day feels impossible. That's why I'm deeply committed to the work that we do day in and day out. With the right support, young people don't just imagine a better future, they create it. But we need your help to do it. I am so thankful for every single one of you here today. Your presence here today is a testament to the community we have built over 37 years and the shared commitment we have to our young people in foster care, regardless of their zip code, regardless of how they got their start. So thank you. Now I am pleased to introduce Esteban, Aaliyah, and Zoe via video, who are creating their futures and following their dreams. They are just 3 of the 174 young people who graduated last year.